Hi, folks. This is John Adamson, the Rehab and Documentation Guru, and I'm going to talk about the fact that more inpatient rehab generally equals better outcomes. Back in 2013, there was a study that was done, and what they did was they looked at patients that were receiving 5 day a week treatment versus 6 day a week. And so these patients that were getting 6 days a week were not getting less minutes of care on the other 5 days. They were just getting an additional day of the same intensity. And what they found was remarkable. They found that patients' length of stay was significantly decreased. They found that the patient's immediate outcomes were better. They found that the patient's 6 month follow up outcomes were better. In other words, more intensive care was found to be statistically significant. The other things that they found out was that there was kind of a ceiling effect with how much therapy you provided that would actually yield a better positive outcome. So more therapy equaled better outcome until they got to about the threshold, get this, of 720 minutes per week. Once you got above that, they didn't really see a return on investment of increasing therapy minutes. What does that 720 sound like? A Rehab Ultra. Now, part of the reason that we're in the problem that we are is that some companies have built the system with keeping patients on Rehab Ultra for months on end, for the whole 100 days of their rehabs, of their Part A benefit. And that skewed the results. Then Medicare said, well, look, people are just getting more intensive rehab and they're not getting better outcomes. But what these studies that truly looked at ethical application of high intensity inpatient rehab proved was there was value to paying for that with reduced stay, improved outcomes, long term benefits that correlated with better quality of life indicators. That I didn't read fully into the study, but if patients are doing better functionally, they're less likely to go into like nursing homes, for example. So this plays out with what's called the triple aim of healthcare. And it's the reason we're in the mess that we're in. The triple aim of healthcare was number one, first of the triple aims, to reduce healthcare costs. And we know we need to see some reduction because spending is out of hand, but most of that ridiculousness is fraud. The second is to improve outcomes. Now, what this study showed was that if you reduce costs, in other words, you give less therapy, your outcomes are not better. So generally, you cannot put those things together. And this is a big problem we have with healthcare, and this is the mindset, though, that drives the industry. Somehow we can reduce costs and at the same time get better outcomes, but that is not the case. Studies do not show that. It's not empirically evident. If you go to a car dealership and you plunk down $25,000 and say, this is my limit for what I can spend, they will give you a car, likely a decent car, for $25,000. But if you plunk down $30,000, you can get maybe that car with more amenities, a better outcome, more options, leather interior, heated seats, things like that. And in every single industry, we see that generally more money commands better outcome, a better product. If a company provides a poor product for more money, they're going to be just wiped out. They're going to be taken out of the private sector because people are not going to buy their product. Yet, how is it in healthcare that we get stuck with having to achieve more with less? How does that work? That is not in any other industry whatsoever. And so right now, what I'm encouraging you guys to do is to be really accurate in your outcome measures. Now, what outcome measures am I talking about? Well, partly it's Medicare outcome. So if you are documenting in section GG, it is really important that you become excellent in documenting section GG. Excellent. I mean, really knowing what the categories of section GG mean, how you should score them, because we have to give them good data. If we give Medicare in post-acute care using section GG in acute rehab, SNF, and home health, that data will help them see, hopefully eventually, that if they apportion healthcare too much, if they reduce what therapy can actually give a patient because of their reimbursement structure, they will see a decline in outcomes, which then says, "Oh, look, we're not achieving the triple aim of healthcare." Oh, by the way, the last of the triple aims is improving the patient experience. So what do you think? You give less care, you get less outcomes. What do you think that's going to do to your patient experience? So the bottom line is this: really report carefully, because in the long run, Medicare is going to be analyzing whether we are achieving the triple aim with PDPM and coming soon PDGM. It behooves you, yes, I use the word behooves, to make sure you're being accurate in that reporting. Become an expert in that reporting, because that will hopefully show in the long run that these cuts that have happened have not been to the benefit of the patient and have not achieved the triple aim. Anyway, this is John Adamson, the Rehab and Documentation Guru. Take care and God bless.